special event celebrating Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. We have gathered today on October 15th, the birth anniversary of Dr. Kalam, a scientist, a teacher, a true nation builder, and to reflect on his legacy and vision. IIIT also has a very special bond with Dr. Kalam. He was an adjunct faculty here with us after his presidential tenure, and in fact even stayed on campus. We are privileged to have with us distinguished speakers who have made deep contribution in policing, healthcare, science, and academia. I would like to start the evening by thanking our distinguished guests for gracing us with their presence. Shri V.C. Sajjanar sir, Police Commissioner Hyderabad, who will be joining us in a moment. Dr. B. Somaraju, founder of Care Hospital. Professor Arun Tiwari, who is a missile scientist and author. And our very own director, Professor Sandeep Shukla. I would like to start the evening by inviting Professor Sandeep Shukla to address the gathering and help invite all the panelists. Yeah.
So good evening, everybody. So this is a very wonderful occasion to celebrate the birth anniversary of Dr. Kalam. And we are lucky here to have Dr. Somaraju, Dr. Arun Tiwari. Sajjanar has not yet arrived, but Dr. Tiwari and Dr. Somaraju has been close to Dr. Kalam, and therefore, it is a very good occasion to hear from them about Dr. Kalam, and also the book will be released that Dr. Tiwari has written about Dr. Kalam. So Dr. Kalam, when we were students, we used to hear about India's missile man, and then we used to hear about his contribution to various Agni and Prithvi missiles that used to be tested in those days. And after that, in '98, I think he had a role in India's declaration as a nuclear power. And then, of course, we all know about him as our president from, I think, 2002 to 2007. And we also know about his love for education, his love for talking to students. And we also know that when he was giving a talk to a set of students in Shillong in 2015, he suddenly passed away while doing what he used to like, which is a very interesting, very, I guess for him it was the way he would have liked to go at the end. So having read about him, I have never met him, but I hear that he was also here on our campus for some time. And he was an adjunct faculty. Actually, I came to know about that only today. So obviously then IIIT has a very strong bond and strong relation with Dr. Kalam. And so it is only befitting that the book release by Dr. Tiwari is actually being done on our campus. And I hope that as we go forward and more such books by people who knew Dr. Kalam personally and professionally, as those books come out, some of them will also be inaugurated in our campus. So with that, I will request Dr. Somaraju to come on the dais, Dr. Tiwari, and to come on the dais, and we will be then starting our actual program.
very good evening to all of you. It's a privilege actually, not pleasure, not honor, it's a privilege. And director has to catch a flight and we don't want to create blood pressure for him. So I take the liberty of hand over him the book so that he can read it on board. Commissioner Sajjanar Sahab he is not able to control the traffic. So what can we do? But he is coming. His last 10 minutes he is coming. So I hope he will come soon. So what I will do is today the format is very simple. We are not here to. Yes, sir. We are not here to give you sermon and speeches and all that. That is not the idea. The idea of coming here today is, and that till Dr. Kalam was 33-year-old, all of you are younger to him that way. He was nobody. And everything started happening after that. So the point I am trying to make it here is that somebody can, sitting here, can become Dr. Kalam. And this is the point, this makes this interaction important. And please tell your friends who must be fooling around, because after 5 o'clock nothing happens in a university. So they must be gossiping or like birds chirping under a tree. So they are better advised if they come here and listen, because it will be beneficial for them if something good enter into their mind. It will help them later in their lives. So all of you who are already here, I request you to tell your friends outside that come inside and we will have something good will happen to them. So with that, sir, I will take liberty of starting with you. So, Dr. Somaraju, I will tell you, I have a special relationship with him in the sense that I was working in DRDL, that is the laboratory which makes missiles in this country. That is the only place where missiles are designed and tested. We go to RISA to test them, but everything is done here. So I was working there, and one day I had what later on was diagnosed as supraventricular tachycardia. My heart started beating at 200 and all, and I mean anything could have happened at that time. So I was rushed to hospital, and Dr. Somaraju saved me. I was 32-year-old at that time. But then I was in the hospital for about a week and in ICCU, but that arrhythmia was coming back again and again. It was not getting sorted out. So Dr. Kalam came. Now, a director coming to see a junior scientist generally does not happen. They send some administrative officer or somebody, but he came. And then he asked Dr. Somaraju, I still remember exact word. Good evening, sir. Welcome to Commissioner Sajjanar. Sir, please come to dais. Dr. Chinnababu, robotic cancer surgeon. So I still remember those words very vividly. Dr. Kalam told Dr. Somaraju, look doctor, we are all paper doctors, but you are the real doctor. Now, what can you do to save this guy? Because I need him, he has to come back to work. And then Dr. Somaraju says, sir, there is an anti-arrhythmia drug called Amedron. And that is not yet released in India. If you can get it from Europe, Germany or UK or something like it, will be very helpful. So he says, no problem. Now that is Dr. Kalam. No problem. So from NIMS, he went to Begumpet, flew to Bangalore where he was going, and whole night he was working with the scientists of the Institute of Aviation Medicine, and within 24 hours, one bottle of Amedron was delivered in Hyderabad. And he gave it to me, and then it worked like anything, and then I was all right, and after 15 days I was back to my work, and we were working on Akash missile. And my colleague is there, JVR Sagar, just say hello to everybody. He is the system integration engineer, electrical integration for Akash missile. And just now he gave me a compliment. He says, boss, the structure of Akash which you have designed, it in Sindoor it verified. See, point is, we can design something, we can feel happy, but then a war has to take place, your missile has to fly, it should hit somebody, then only your product is. So he gave me that compliment, so I am very happy that I got that compliment today. The second point which I will touch upon that is later, but first I will tell you the presence of Commissioner Sachanar here. When the COVID happened, he was the Commissioner of Cyberabad. So nothing like that happened in the world. Nothing like that happened in the world. Everybody say lockdown, koi baar nahi aa sakta. Now that is okay, but then how bread will be earned? People need their livelihood, and they need food. So as a Commissioner of Police, he redefined policing. That police people are not for law and order, police people are to take care. They are the custodian of life. They are the custodian of security. He stood like a messenger of God. And that is, I was so inspired. His colleague Krishna Yadula is here. He works in Varchusa. And in the lobby there is a big mural or sign which says, I love engineering. So I went there and got myself photographed because nobody loves engineering these days. So this is a very beautiful feeling. So I asked Commissioner Sachanar, sir, suppose we want to write a book about what you have done. What should be the title of that book? And without any hesitation, he told the book should be called The Extra Mile. So then I asked him, what do you mean by extra mile? He says, mile to sab chalte hain. Jo extra mile chalte hain, wo extraordinary log hote hain. So we have a legendary cardiologist, you know Kalam Raju stunt, he is that Raju. And so it is Kalam Raju stunt. We have Sachanar Saab. We have Sudhakar sir, the former chairman of the ECIL, Electronic Corporation of India Limited, which is the front end or the mask or whatever it is of atomic energy. And when we create the atomic energy, you know, it's a messy thing to generate electricity out of nuclear reaction. So the entire control, safety, all these things, that electronics which goes into that, what you now call plant management, artificial intelligence, robotics and all that, these are all beautiful names. But they are doing this work for last 50 years. So he is here. One of his unique distinction is that he designed the first computer hardware in the country. First computer hardware in the country. So today is short time. We are just, and I am just thinking that Dr. Kalam is hanging around somewhere else and is listening to all these things. That is why I am telling him all these things, so that he is also happy. So with that, I start. The format is like this, sir, that we will be requesting you to speak for about 5 minutes. And I have completed my quota. So Dr. Somraju will speak, and then Sachanar, sir, you can speak there. They will give you the mic. Choice is yours. Yes, sir. And After that, three of us will answer question. And if you can get more of your colleagues here, if you have the inclination, we have all the time. So question answer session can go beyond 6:15, 6:30 and all. We have nothing important to do more than interacting with you people. So choice is yours. So to Dr. Somaraju, thank you very much.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you, Arun. Good evening to all of you. I am a doctor. The problem of being a doctor is you only learn to ask questions, not answers. Then it all started like this. When continuing on what Professor Arun Tiwari said about Dr. Kalam meeting us, this was in 1985-86, around that time, at Nizam Institute of Medical Sciences. I was a cardiologist, and then Professor Tiwari simplified his diagnosis as supraventricular tachycardia. Supraventricular tachycardia is a very benign illness. It's not. He had a combination of ventricular tachycardia, atrial tachycardia, ventricular tachycardia, atrial fibrillation, on and off, and with occasional cardiac arrest. It was a very complex arrhythmia. But then that type of arrhythmia, from that time to now, we never saw again. He is a very complex man himself. That is the reason why it happened. So then, not many things were available. Not drugs. These modern techniques of electrophysiology, ablation and all were not available. And he has otherwise normal heart. Natural, so both upper chambers of the heart and lower chambers of the heart, both places the arrhythmia was there, thanks to everything that the drugs that we got from Germany that time with the help of Dr. Kalam. He was cured actually. It never recurred again. Then having said that, when Dr. Kalam met us, when he was here, he used to come and spend time with us and talk to us. He used to come to cath lab and watch us doing angiograms and angioplasty, etc. Then one day he said, after some time going on, that time the stents, so coronary stents, the spring-like thing in the arteries we insert to support the artery when it dilated, it was just introduced by, say, two companies, Johnson & Johnson, and other was Gentle Rubin stent. Then it was costing around 90,000 rupees in 1989-90. 90,000 is extraordinary cost that time. Then he said, how many people can afford all this? Then he said, can we make it here in India? Then I said, I looked at him with surprise and said, okay, how do you think you can make anything like that in India at that time? We had no laboratories to work upon and all that. He said, let us see whether we can try to do that here in India. We didn't believe him. I thought he was just saying something that is not practical. Then he took us to DRDO. We went there, talked to scientists, and Arun was there, and other scientists were there. And then they started working on it. It used to be just like a spring-like, say in your pencil you have a spring-like thing, you know. So then they worked for 3 years and made it happen ultimately. And then the stent that was delivered to patients, we had to do animal work before we implant in human beings. There were no animal laboratories that time in India, easily, anywhere. So then when we asked whether we can, somebody can try do animal work in US, they quoted around thousands of dollars, which nobody could afford. So then what we did was we got some goats and started grazing them and raising it ourselves and started doing it in our own catheterization laboratory. We have another few minutes? Few minutes? Okay. So then we had to do it in our own catheterization laboratory. the cardiac catheterization laboratory is for patients. So we used to do these animal implantations in the middle of the night so that people don't know. Then, so in the middle of the night, we used to implant the stents. We used to have a cardiologist in charge of grazing the cattle. One cardiologist was posted for it. So then, the first few stents, when we inserted more than a dozen or so, the moment we inserted the artery and expanded, after 5 to 10 minutes, there used to be a closure of the artery and cardiac arrest, and the animal died. Goat died. Then when we were doing it in the middle of the night, the goats were dying like this. After second implant or so, there used to be a lot of crowd, hospital employees waiting outside. You know the reason? For the goat. So it went on like that for a month or so. Then when we decided, when we learned ourselves, because there was no internet that time, we didn't even know what to do. Then we realized a diseased artery has a lot of plaque inside, a lot of material inside. The stent is stuck there. But a normal artery, there is nothing to hold it. So then we decided to oversize the stent. And then first time it started working. That's how it happened. When we introduced, the stent cost was brought down from 90,000 to 15,000. So that's what our Kalam was. And I just only want to add, and later I will answer the questions. Working together with Dr. Kalam, working with the scientists there, first time it was an attempt to try to work interdisciplinary method of working. That interdisciplinary means doctors, scientists, and everybody working together. Then only all this was made possible. So it is even more important now. If you look at present day advances in medicine, most of us entered medicine with a background of biology and clinical science. Now we know with the advances in technology, every component of it, advances in artificial intelligence and everything, it's no longer enough to know biology and clinical science. It's important to understand the present day medicine and how it is delivered, namely, say, all these imaging and newer technologies. To understand that we need physics, chemistry, mathematics, and information technology, molecular biology, social sciences, etc. All this, our generation of doctors, including present-day medical education, doesn't even touch it. So in other words, you are training doctors who can't treat you. So in other words, we need to bring together all these scientists who know mathematics, who know chemistry. Physics is the fundamental science here. Then, so unless we work together and educate our future doctors in all this, we are not going to have right type of doctors. That present medical college system is defunct. It's gone. So in other words, something like that is only possible if we bring together medical education into a university and information technology like you, IITs like you, information technologies, other sciences and other arts and humanities and basic biology, all of them have to come together. It has to be in the campus of a university. And then information tech, IITs, University of Hyderabad, and major hospitals have to work together to train the future doctors. I'll only leave it here. If you have any questions. So in other words, we have, say, electronic medical records today introduced, data gathering and all that. None of us know how to handle it. We are struggling. Only people from your background can come and help us. So you will be called a doctor of information technology, working for patients. So thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, what this cardiologist taking care of the goats, that is extra mile. And now I have the pleasure of introducing to you Commissioner Sajanar, and he is the man who is the embodiment of extra mile. He changed the definition of police. Commissioner Sajanar, sir.
Respected Somaraju sir, the founder of the Care Hospitals, Sri Arun Tiwari sir, missile scientist and the co-author of these books, Professor Ramesh Lognathan, dear friends Krishna and Mrs. Krishna, Dr. Chinna Babu, Sudhakar sir, our former ex-chairman of ECIL, scientist and dear students and friends. Good evening everybody. Chala ante chala సంతోషం అనిపిస్తుంది. It's a great pleasure to be a part of this noble event to inaugurate the new and the extended edition of the Wings of Fire. Last few months I have been interacting with Arun Tiwari sir and Anmol. I've been visiting, I and Krishna have been visiting his house. It doesn't, he always speaks of Kalam and is working with Kalam, and also about his first book, The Wings of Fire. The way Kalam used to treat him, we could hear Somaraju sir and our Arun Tiwari sir, the way they were talking, the way they were, how they could work with, how they were very fortunate to work with Kalam sir. So Kalam's, whatever people know about, no, I think in this country, there are no one who doesn't know about Kalam. Kalam is known to everybody, from a young boy from Rameshwaram to being a missile mind to Rashtrapati Bhavan. His journey has been incredible. It's a journey of passion, dreams, and also possibilities. As Raju sir was telling, that never we could imagine that stunts could be made in India at a very, very affordable price. From a 90,000 to, I don't know, it must have cost now few thousand rupees. I think it's all because of the Kalam and Raju stunt. The way he has built missiles, as Arun Tiwari sir was telling, that they were now came to use during the Operation Sindoor. So a lot of achievements to Kalam. He always believed in youth. He never thought any other thing, because even though after coming out of Rashtrapati Bhavan also, he went around the country speaking to youth, students and all, and ultimately left us when he was speaking to students only. He always chose a different path. I also read this book many times, and I also felt that we should always choose a different path. As a police officer, I never toe the line told by the police officers. I always think differently, do differently, and do it in a different ways. That's a great inspiration we draw from the life of Dr. Abdul Kalam sir. He not only built missiles, but he also built the entire ecosystem. Otherwise, the country would not have developed so much in the defense sector. Wherever he has worked, he has touched lives, he has made an impact. It's a great inspiration. I tell always to my officers, men, and wherever I felt that it's not the time or the place where we work, but it's always the people we touch and the people we impact. That should be the goal, because working we go and all, vastaru potane untaru gaani, but we should make an impact on the people's life. Then only we'll be remembered, otherwise we'll not be remembered. We'll be like any other person, like any other officer coming and working in that chair and leaving the job. So I think we should all draw inspiration from Abdul Kalam sir, and I think it's a great effort, Arun Tiwari sir, for bringing the new edition on this Silver Jubilee year of this book. It has inspired millions of people, students in this country. During, Arun sir was telling about the COVID times, It was like a storm. I think the entire credit should go to Krishna sir, or Chinna Babu sir, and the volunteers who are there, who did great work. Never we thought that we could overcome that crisis, that storm. Lakhs and lakhs of offices were set up in the homes within a span of 72 hours in Hyderabad city, and also the parts of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Whereas in other parts like in Bangalore, Pune, Bombay, Delhi and all, to set up offices at home was a big mystery, and many people called Krishna and to find out how it was done and all. So also right from blood donation to plasma to setting up temporary hospitals, I think it's all because of the inspiration of Abdul Kalam sir, because always when we have challenges only we can always think of some solutions. We always think of possibilities. It was a crisis that tested the resilience of every system where we worked. I think it was a very great learning lesson when I met Tiwari sir for just a routine cause. Then he said he had already did lot of exercise, he did lot of homework also. Then he started telling Chinna Babu and Krishna sir that why don't we do a book on this thing. Then we said that yes. Then immediately he said we'll think of some title and all. That's how the extra mile thing. I think shortly Arun Tiwari sir and Krishna will be releasing that book. It's a great collaboration story that always Kalam stood for. Always the thought of collaborations. He never did singly. That's how the Raju sir and Kalam sir came together to develop the stunts. So Kalam has been a visionary, was a scientist and a great teacher. He always encouraged youth because he always thought that he wanted to empower students and who will become the agents of innovation and change. And we could see that's how a lot of students have got inspired, and now almost we have become the great place for innovation and change. I am very confident that these institutions, such institutions like IIIT, IITs and all will draw inspiration, and definitely in the coming days they'll contribute a lot to this country and this society. Thank you once again, sir, Arun sir, for calling me and for in this noble cause. It's a great pleasure. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Now I checked because 15 minutes sir has or not, he says he has. See, point is, even if a doctor, even an engineer, we don't work in, maximum what will happen, somebody will die, something happen and all that. But for sir, anything can happen. So his be in command, for him to be in his seat. I visited his commissioner office, the tall building near KBR Park. I could not believe that such a modern, sophisticated system we have in place. The video screens, everything what is happening in city is being monitored with the best of the technology. And who is monitoring? The man in the uniform. And somebody would have trained them. And this is not a joke. So now we open for interaction. I just want to say something. Sir.
Yeah, I knew him as police commissioner. First time we saw what we can call an exception in policing, integrity. He showed what is called integrity in policing. So we are all very lucky to have somebody like him. And also continuing on Dr. Kalam, apart from what is already spoken of, from science or laboratories to becoming a president, he showed that politics, he used to say that when we entered, when we worked together for a while, he used to talk about, the concept he gave us was, medicine is too important to be left alone to doctors. That we are seeing more and more of that now. And he also felt science again is too important to left alone to scientists. But having entered Rashtrapati Bhavan, he also showed, by the way he conducted himself, dealing with politicians, politics is too important to be left alone to politicians. So far, having said that, I leave it here. It's open now.
So now we open for the questions, and please feel free. That the biggest tribute you can give to Dr. Kalam today is to stand up and ask a question. He'll be very happy. So, and second thing I always say, and Dr. Kalam used to tell, it is a time for a lady Kalam. Okay, the girls are coming up and they are doing fantastic work in every field, and very soon you will have our girl scientists also shining. They are already shining, but they will be shining like a star. It takes time. Society has to accept that. Business world has to accept that. It happens, it is happening. So, I will be very happy if one girl will start the interaction today.
While they warm up, I'll ask the first question, sir, here. So, when Dr. Kalam was on our campus, what did you hear about our campus from him, sir, when he stayed here for that short period?
Fantastic. That is how he always used to say fantastic. And second question he asked is, where is the banyan tree? Because you have a logo of the banyan tree. And then he said, where is the banyan tree? So we took him to banyan tree, and he said, don't you feel that they have overemphasized it? So he told Professor Sangal that you make sure that it is exactly as it is shown in the logo. I mean, the logo of banyan tree is fantastic. The actual banyan tree was little. So he says that take care of it. This is not happening, sir. Start, don't be shy.
Yes, sir.
See, there is a famous quotation by Voltaire or Socrates, they call it. Judge a man or woman by their questions, not the answers. This is up to you now.
So you said you'll elaborate on the Operation Sindoor incident. I mean, you got a compliment and you said you'll talk about it more. So can you elaborate on that?
The details of Operation Sindoor, we don't know. I know only what everybody else know. But the point we are trying to make here is, from where these accurate missiles have come. They were not produced overnight. So, I remember, it is part of the Vishwakaya 2.0, that we were very clear that we need supersonic missiles. Supersonic missiles means all our aircraft, they are subsonic, 600, 700 kilometers per hour. Supersonic means it has to go much beyond that, what we call it Mach number, Mach number. And there is a sonic boom, because it has to grow the sign, sort of nose, boom, like that sound will come when it crosses that speed. So this missile flight, it goes at that speed, and it is a different technology. We had no clue. There is no legacy. Nobody in India knows how to make a supersonic missile. So what do we do? So Dr. Kalam says that let me talk to my Russian friends. And then he worked out a brilliant So this is what happened in case of Akash. Thank you. Next question, please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ravi, MS student at IIT Hyderabad. So my question is, if at all a conflict arises in decision making, which one do you think is more important to choose? Using your knowledge to benefit the nation or to advance the technology that benefits the world?
I think Commissioner is a better person.
Can you ask the question again?
So, if at all a conflict arises in decision making, which one do you think is more important to choose? Using your knowledge to benefit the nation or to advance the technology that benefits the world?
See, when you say you have a decision to make and you have knowledge, and we say, I'll interpolate something like what we call it knowledge in medicine. We have data, we have information, we have knowledge, we have wisdom. The difference between knowledge and wisdom is knowledge melted with experience, success and failures, all of them together becomes wisdom. So that's how decisions have to be made. And again, we say, whenever you have a patient coming to you, we make it a rule in the institutions we work and try to teach our juniors and colleagues. When the patients, we are making a major decision for a patient, the diagnosis is uncertain, and always take a second opinion. That makes a difference. Then again we tell them, when do you take a second opinion? Anyone wants to tell, when do you take a second opinion in science, technology? I'll tell it from my medical experience. Even when you think you know, because you don't know when you don't know. Number one. Number two, when the patient's life is in danger or lifelong disability, when the patients themselves seek another opinion, or when you are doing an intervention or a procedure which will influence his life forever, always take second opinion. And also have a board of directors amongst your friends, your seniors, your teachers, somebody alive, somebody dead, even somebody like even Dr. Kalam is one of my personal board of directors. What you would have done in this situation? That's how I look at it. So I don't know whether I answered the question or not, but I told you what I wanted to tell you. Thank you.
We have with us Dr. Chinnababu, the top-notch robotic surgeon. Okay, so he is, I consider him as the best in the field. So he would like to give an answer to your question.
Can I ask the question again? I mean, may I know the question again?
His
I'm just
question,
kidding. I think Professor Raju sir has already answered.
his question is that when there is a decision has to be taken,
Right.
a critical decision has to be taken. One is technology opinion, one is your own opinion. Which you would prefer?
I think I would look at the mix of both, sir.
Bits of both.
Yes. Wisdom is more important, as Raju sir has mentioned. I think you have learned from your experiences. So I can't say exclusively one, but I think it's a mix of both.
So wisdom is very important. That is what it is.
Thank you.
Now, from where the wisdom comes? So wisdom comes, again, I'm trying to tell you, take an example of what Dr. Kalam has done. When in before 1982, when I started working, and 1983, IGMDP, Integrated Graduate Missile Program, was launched. So at that time, generally projects will be called as Project X, Project Y, Project Z. And there is a specification, and silently people will work, nobody knows what it is, confidential, secret, all these things were there. Then Dr. Kalam says, what is this nonsense? So first he dismantled that thing, and then he says that no lab can make a missile system. So he got funding of, at that time it was 785 crore sanctioned by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and we started an integrated guided missile development program. And he involved IITs, he involved university, Jadavpur University, Indian Institute of Science. You make seeker, you make guidance system, you make this, you make face array radar. And the whole country came together. And as far as the names of the missiles were concerned, he says, what is this X, Y, and Z? Call it Agni, call it Prithvi, call it Nag. This is India, these are Indian missiles. And more than that, don't work for specifications, because what is specification is good for today. 10 years down the line, your enemy also become smart. So it may change. So develop an ecosystem that when they change, we will also change. And it was demonstrated at the time of Sindoor. We were checkmating them. It's not that they were dodos, they don't know. They are also having best of the missile systems and aircrafts and all that. But they were not able to do, we could do. Because the ecosystem which we are having, they are not having. They are still living in Project X, Project Y, Project Z era. So this is the difference, and this is the answer to your question. Wisdom is very important. And coming to last point I want to add is here is, we are all talking about artificial intelligence. My friend Sagar is taking care of the artificial intelligence. Don't allow him to go. He is having a lot of money in DRDO. So they should fund IIIT, and at least 1 dozen PhD and MTech students should be working on what he wants to do. Still, you send your WhatsApp group, those who are outside, tell them to come inside. So the point I am trying to make it, that this ecosystem is what is important. And it is not done in 1 day or 2 days. You take a mango tree. So, sir, you are also from Bhimavaram. How long a tree will give a mango? Years. It's not that today you put a tree and tomorrow you get a mango. Somebody has to put the tree. And academic institutions are created. Professor Sangal, your former director, he always used to tell very simple definition. Sir, what is to be done right now is the job of the private sector. Adani's, Ambani's, all these fellows, they should do what is to be done right now, because next quarter, next budget, that is what balance sheet, that is their job. What is to be done in next 3 to 5 years, laboratories should do like DRDL and all these things. But what is to be done 10 years and beyond, that only academic institutions can do. And a country in which academic institutions are not flourishing, those countries are bound to fail. I will just share with you, there is one great man, equivalent of Dr. Kalam in agriculture. His name is Dr. Rajendra Singh Paroda. If you go to ICRISAT and you see the gene bank, it is named after him. He took the genetics of plants to world level. So one day, Dr. Norman Borlaug came to India and he thought it proper to visit Dr. Paroda to have food in his house. So that is the highest honor anybody can give you. He is Nobel laureate. So he came to his house for food. Then he says that what is the reason that in spite of all the money, in spite of all the help given to Africa, Green Revolution does not happen there, but it has happened in India. He says it is because Africa does not have Indian Council of Agriculture Research Institutions. It is through educational institutions that science grow. It is through education institution that the country become successful and powerful. So IIIT is here today. It is not merely to give degrees. Degrees, so many institutes are, lovely universities also giving degree. Okay, the point is, what nation building is what has to take place in public universities like IIIT, and you should work what country is going to need 10 years from now. That definition of Professor Sangal is very important. So next question, please.
Sir, I am parent, sir. నేను తెలుగులో మాట్లాడొచ్చా సార్? మాట్లాడొచ్చా సార్ తెలుగులో? సార్, అబ్దుల్ కలాం గారు రామేశ్వరంలో పుట్టి రాష్ట్రపతి భవన్ వరకు వెళ్ళారు. మరి ఆయన గారు చెప్పిన మాట ఏంటంటే పెద్ద పెద్ద కళల్ని కనండి, వాటిని సహకారం చేసుకోండి అని చెప్పారు సార్. మరి నేటి యువత సార్ చెప్పిన అబ్దుల్ కలాం గారు చెప్పిన ఆ మాటను ఎంతవరకు దృష్టిలో ఉంచుకుంది, వాడుతున్నారా సార్ ఆ పదాన్ని? సార్ అర్థం కాలేదా సార్? నేటి యువత ఎలా ఉందంటే సార్,
చెప్పండి.
అదే పెద్ద పెద్ద కళల్ని కనండి, వాటిని సహకారం చేసుకోండి అని చెప్పారు సార్. మరి వాటిని సహకారం చేసుకుంటున్నారు సార్ మరి పిల్లలు ఇప్పుడు?
చెప్తానమ్మా నీకు. అంటే యాక్చువల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఏంటంటే we say the mother is the most say knowledgeable person to answer any question like this. మీ పిల్లలు చూశారు కదా, మీరు వాళ్ళు చేస్తున్నారా
సార్?
మీ పిల్లల గురించి మీరు చెప్పండి.
అంటే ఇక్కడ చాలా పెద్దవాళ్ళు ఉంటారు కదా సార్, అంటే
I'll answer it. So there is a significant generation issues, generation gap in all this. What Dr. Kalam said, it is even getting more and more difficult to put it into practice, particularly present generation of youngsters. Most of the time they are on mobiles, continuously on mobiles, day and night. They have no time to dream. Their dreams are already only on the screen. So that's it. So how to do that is something like in medicine we call it addiction. Cell phone addiction is one of the greatest dangers to the present generation. They will become press of a button people. They will stop learning to think, and they will depend only on information available. And they think it is their answers for everything. That's not. So in other words, what to do is something like some of the institutions, they banned taking cell phones inside the campus. And beyond a point, if you want to implement, I keep watching when I go on my car across the road, almost everybody is on a cell phone. Have you seen it? Then, so at some point, to de-age the society, we need the help of Sajanar Garu.
So I had a question. We often talk about Dr. Kalam's legacy, and a very large part of his legacy was also as a public intellectual. A big part of my childhood was reading Vision 2020 and how he reimagined urban and rural India to be in 2020. But now we're in 2025, and I see even urban India doesn't have the same guarantees that Dr. Kalam envisioned. We don't have clean air, reliable water and electricity in our own cities, let alone villages. So where are we falling behind, and what is the gap that we need to be addressing as at least students, right? Because we'll be entering the workforce soon. So what can we envision, or what hopes can we have for India?
Because everybody is having mobile. See, the point is here that who makes a country great? Somebody may envision. After all parents want their children to become good, but all children does not become good. So it is every generation has to redefine what they want for themselves. Very cleverly in the last 10-15 years, India has been converted into a consumer society. Every day you are brainwashed that you need this cream, you need this dress, you need this model, you need this shoe, you need this watch. Life is equal to buying gadgets from market. Apple 15, Apple 16, Apple 17. When only you have to talk nonsense with your friend, then why you should go for Apple 16? For whom? So the point is, you have to be purposefully busy. And unless the citizen of a country, they become enlightened, because Dr. Kalam gave a vision. The vision was required because in 95 when he says India 2020, if you read that book clearly, he was talking about self-reliance in power, energy, all these things. But he can only envision. We can't say that he envisioned but nothing happened. Nothing happened because the whole country, the leadership, the whole system, it did not work in that direction. But the vision was correct, the vision is right, we have come much ahead on what we were in the mid-1990s when the book was written. And Dr. Kalam is not a stationary symbol, it is a spirit. And that is why we need modern Kalam. And I suggest that now you give what is your vision for India, because somebody has to give vision for India. Yes, sir.
You asked an excellent question. You also mentioned pollution. Atmospheric pollution, the world around is being destroyed, global warming, etc. No? There was in our standard textbooks of medicine, cardiology today, it's written clearly, when you go out into the street, wear a mask, N95 mask. It is written in textbook of cardiology today. That's the status we are living in. But having said that, how do you make this reversed? How do you improve upon it? There was a often quoted AI question, artificial intelligence question. When the question is asked, how to make livable again, how to make the earth livable again, the answer given is eradicate human beings. Thank you.
Yeah, last question. You come here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, so most of us here sitting here have been fortunate enough to, be in school while the time Dr. Kalam was the president of the country, right? And all over the school, all the schools in India mostly have a very, I distinctly remember there is a poster on the walls which says, dreams are not something which you see at night, they are something which don't let you sleep. And also the way we all the media kind of portrays in such a manner that all the students get to know is that he's the missile man of India. But today, as we discussed, like he has also contributed in many other different ways, right? For example, the field of medicine and even the tablet which was later prepared for the rural areas, right? So how do you define that broad perspective in a human who can not only contribute to one particular field in life, but across domains, and everywhere his contribution is something which cannot be neglected. So that is something which I would like you to put some words on.
I will ask
also
you a counter question.
Even the nuclear like Pokhran test and all, right?
I will ask you a question, and that answer will answer your question. So my question to you is, how do you want to be remembered for? You.
So that is a very hard question to say.
Why it is? I'm asking about you only. How can it be hard question?
As someone who has had some impact on the society, but there is no definition as to what impact.
So, impact on society. See, the point is, if you are only bothered about your personal income, your family, my wife, my child, my house, my EMI, my car, nothing will happen. Nobody will remember you. But if you think what impact I can make on society, then you will become Dr. Kalam.
In the last this one, I just want to say something. And you asked a very difficult question. Dr. Arun Tiwari answered it. What do you want to be remembered for? Dr. Kalam repeatedly used to say that to us. The concept was first introduced by Peter Drucker, the guru of management. He used to say, one of his teachers used to ask this. And for many of you here, time to ask that question repeatedly. For some of us, it's too late. So then, having said that, I just want, in conclusion, if it is over, I just want to read out something to you. What Dr. Kalam used to tell us is, have a purpose. Don't ever give up. You may fail, but still keep trying. So I'll just give you a medical example. There was one famous Dr. Welter in the United States. He was considered an excellent clinician, great diagnostician. He was going for a round in the wards. One of his residents mustered his courage and approached Welter and asked, Dr. Welter, you are such a marvelous clinician. To what do you attribute your success to? He said. Dr. Welter replied, good judgment, he said. The questioner thought for a moment, not completely satisfied with the response asked, but Dr. Welter, to what do you attribute your good judgment? Dr. Welter replied, experience. Still not satisfied, the residents continued, said, but Dr. Welter, how does one gain experience? He said. Dr. Welter said, bad judgment. So you will fail, but don't give up. Thank you.
Before we close,
Sir,
yes, sir.
I wanted to share a small experience. I had the opportunity of covering Dr. Abdul Kalam from 1987, missiles, to Dr. Somaraju starting Care Hospital, to Arun Tiwari sir and VC Sajjanar. You know, I have two comments and questions. One is, we have great vision. We start well. We then develop a prototype. But we never succeed in a market. We don't have a product. For example, Kalam, they had a project called ISPT, Societal Projects. 10 projects, out of which Kalam Raju's tent is one of them. But of the 10, not a single product is a global product. But all products helped in bringing down price, bringing down everything, doing a lot of good. So the question to all youngsters is, why don't we have just dream, innovation, but product has to be there. It has to be a branded product. That is the challenge. If you don't do it, we will always remain second. So that is one important thing which Kalam took us to a point, but we have not succeeded in converting that dream into a product of global standard. That is what my experience. Second is, hamare extra mile man. Now, going an extra mile, I think, is not enough in this country or in this city. This city is chaos. We require the physics of chaos to be applied to solve the problem that is facing in traffic to everything. Otherwise, the country will not move. We will not solve. So I think you should do the miles to go before I sleep, then stop at extra mile. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, students, for those heartfelt reflections. A true reminder for Dr. Kalam's words, dreams transform into thoughts and thoughts result into action. And now we move to a very special moment, the launch of the newly expanded edition of Wings of Fire, the book that continues to ignite young minds across the world. May I invite our dignitaries to please do the formal release of the book. Sir, please. This new edition is a tribute not only to Dr. Kalam's extraordinary journey, but also to the timeless message of hope, perseverance, and innovation that he left us with. thank you all to help us with the. Yeah. So Arun sir just announced that he is also offering books to the students. So any of you who would like to have a copy, please, if you can come. And before we conclude, may I request Professor Ramesh to present a token of our appreciation to the esteemed guests. Thank you, Dr. Somaraj. Professor Arun Tiwari. As we end this memorable evening, we thank all our speakers, guests, and students for being part of this tribute to Dr. Kalam. May his life continue to inspire us to dream, to innovate, and to serve the nation with a purpose. Thank you, everyone. Please join us for high tea and networking in the foyer area. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.